on the stream here. We got our guests now, Aiden Marletta, Shane Myles. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing really good, man. I'm glad you guys are at the store, man, representing Knucklehead Vintage and the Cash Money team.
Hell yeah.
It's super cool, man. I'm glad we could collaborate and do something.
This has ended up being pretty fun.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, the fight companion was really sick before
Yeah,
you
the
were on
fights
there
were
with us.
crazy, man.
It was a good fight.
I mean, dude, it sucked that it kind of ran over the way that it did, but hey, we still had some fun watching those fights live. But I mean, dude, there's both of you guys. There's plenty of stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. I mean, first of all, Shane. I mean, the last time we had like you on the podcast and on the channel, you were still like relatively like young in your career, but now like you founded your own team pretty much at the UFC gym with the Cash Money team. And like, I guess the first thing I want to ask you is like, what kind of like led to that happening? Like, were you already training with some of these people and you kind of just cultivated a group together? Like, what kind of caused all that?
We were just like, like Cash Money promotions,
Yeah,
like backyard fight
in the
promotions.
field.
It started in the field, my team, really. It's like a ton of people, like my boy Travis, he's been with me since like high school. It's been forever. And we just grouped up, and over the years we just wanted a place to train. We finally like got our spot, and it was UFC Riverdale. It was awesome.
Was it kind of like a gradual thing, or were a lot of these people there from like the very beginning?
A lot of them were there from the beginning, but a little faded off. Did their own thing, came back. So it's like a full circle moment too, because that's where I started in the beginning with my coach, Coach Drew, with P4P. Now we're back with the Cash Money team.
It all started in a field, man, with caution tape as a ring.
I remember, believe me.
We had some great fights at
Makeshift
Cash
ring,
Money
yeah.
Promotions. It's
Makeshift
gotta come
Almost
back.
had this guy on there, if you remember.
Main
Cash Money
It'll still
Promotions
happen.
needs to come back.
It's gonna be in a great setting, hopefully, when it does.
It almost came back today.
I'm still like a little bit sad. Like when Tiz was watching the fights before, I was like, man, I wish we had our guy out there right now.
Do I have to hold on to this or no?
No, you're good. We got it. But yeah.
I lost my voice today too.
Yeah, well,
Screaming.
dude, I was
You
saying,
and
you were
Travis,
screaming.
yeah.
Let's talk about that. You
A lot
guys
of
had like a
crazy
bunch of
shit.
smokers this
Yeah.
morning in like Long Island. You said.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, like dude.
Good event. Proud of my fighters. Good event.
Not the refs though, apparently. Allegedly.
It was
Refs were slacking.
Some of the refs were a little bit shaky, but it was a good event. You win some, you lose some. You get shitty refs, you get good refs. It's the fight business, but it's no game at the end of the day, and some people need to realize that.
Shane has a good story of, I'd say, pivoting, right? Because Shane went, not to say that you're not someone who's trying to make it as a fighter anymore, but you went from, obviously, head down, you're gonna be the best in the world in that cage one day.
Cash money, baby.
The injury happens to your
Choo-choo.
ankle, and you pivot. Exactly.
still
You
on the
create the
tracks.
cash. You create a whole team, dude, at a legitimate gym with a legitimate coach, a UFC fighter. Shout out to Lukasz Sajewski, and
Polish power. Hell
here
yeah.
we are today. You have the smoker on Long Island UFC gym against other UFC gyms. So, I mean, you already have a little bit of coaching experience under your belt. I mean, you coached one of our guests here tonight to a win, but
Hell yeah.
no, today, for instance.
Been coaching the people in Cash Money Promotions for years, in the gym.
He's been coaching me before too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Many
and now
times.
me too. So.
I mean, this is like what's impressed me about like what you're able to do because you've been injured like on and off for the past couple of years, but yet like in that time you've still been like around it. You've been working your ass off as a coach, and like now you have a bunch of fighters like who are kind of like on your roster per se, and like you had your smokers today obviously, and it's just cool to see because like I said, like when we first started like doing some stuff with you, it was in like the very beginning when all of this was like you said, it was in a field, caution tape. So it is really sick to hear about that.
Appreciate it. Hell yeah.
But so
you
how
guys
is
been
your-
there since day
No,
one.
literally,
since day one. Hell yeah.
Definitely got to do some stuff again too in the future.
Yeah, we gotta make a doc.
What's up, guys? Sorry to interrupt the podcast real quick, but we have a message for you guys.
If you enjoy her Hamburg's content, you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like on the videos, all sorts of fight content as much as possible, podcasts, interviews, vlogs. We have it all over here, so thank you, appreciate it.
We appreciate you, and like he said, please subscribe. And now, back to the show.
For the Cash Money team.
Talk a little bit about I'll ask you directly, Aiden. Like, talk a little bit about your relationship with Shane, like how you guys got to where like we are now.
I met Shane my sophomore year of high school, and my first impression of him is I wanted to fight that kid.
Hell yeah.
You know, but all my
As you
friends,
should.
all my friends started with beef, and we had a similar background, and we always had a liking for each other, and we just ended up training together. Went out and did a bunch of stuff. Went to Arizona. I was in his corner for one of his fights, so it was just we've been there for each other for sure, and it's been a fucking wild ride to see the story unfold and unravel and.
Yeah, you guys have been in a lot of gyms.
Yeah, kind of approaching things a certain way and seeing the outcome afterwards. I mean, you can't really get better than the Cash Money train, and when I'm mixing in there with him, it's amazing.
Hell yeah.
I enjoy it.
I'll ask you
Knucklehead
guys this
vintage.
because we were just talking obviously about how you guys have explored other gyms and stuff too. I know you guys went to Arizona, the MMA lab and all that. What have you been able to gain from going to those other gyms and learning from all these different people? Because obviously in Arizona at the MMA lab they got Benson Henderson, Jared
That was
Cannonier,
sick.
O'Malley.
That was sick.
a lot
I
of
didn't get to go with Jared, but he did.
Yeah,
That was pretty sick.
I rolled with Jared a little. That was really cool, man.
that
It's
must
just
have been.
empty room. I mean, dude's strong. Like I said, there's when you go out there to just a different element and you're focused on one thing. There's so many layers that you understand about the game afterwards. You don't realize how layered it is, and exactly how to approach it, other than being around people that really test you. So I think approaching Arizona that way and going to Red Hawk Academy, going with Tim Welch. He was in the elite room. Benson
Great
Henderson
experience.
training
Hell
with Antoine Ho, which was on the Dana White Contender Series. Unfortunately, got KO'd, but great fighter.
That
To
kid
even
is
get
gonna be
there, I mean,
back.
yeah,
that
absolutely.
kid's really good.
It's
Yeah.
impressive.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of what made the whole.
A lot
sense
of other
it.
notable fighters in there, Bryce Meredith.
Yeah,
He's like one of the best
Animal.
wrestlers.
We almost had him
He's
for an
a
interview at one point.
supporter of
No
the
way.
Yeah, he was down to
Yeah.
do it, but it just fell through at the
No
last
way,
minute.
that's
and
sick.
Haven't
That's
rescheduled it
sick.
since, but we'll get him.
He
on
fucked
some
me
point.
up, actually. He's really good.
His
Yeah.
ground game must be.
Out of all of them, yeah, he might have done the most work.
So
for sure.
let me ask you this, because obviously that dude, collegiate wrestling superstar, and in his time, two-time runner-up, I think, for the national championship. What's that grappling feel like compared to what you're dealing with on a daily basis? Is it just that next level, or does it? Not
I mean,
even
usually
kinda...
now that I'm training with Lucas every day, it's his grappling's just so elite. So similar in different ways. His is more a European style versus the American style. American's always the best, but nothing better than America.
Shout out,
Say,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Where's
We're
my
in
headband? What the fuck? Left that shit at home.
We were watching UFC London before, and it's just I have this bias in me where I'm just I can't
UFC
stand
London.
these British fighters,
Those
man.
chap
Go America.
The chap cunts.
There are sons. I mean, come on, there are sons. But I mean, dude, there's plenty of other stuff we wanted to talk to you about too, because this is why I wanted to have you on for this too, because I know you have a lot to say with these stories as well.
Yeah.
But you've been up to some stuff obviously in your fighting career. I mean, what was the
It's
thing
been a
that
good
Coop
time.
says in that one? It's get ready for World War
Get
III.
ready for World War
Yeah.
III. Coop
Coop.
TV, man.
Shout
Coop
out
TV.
Coop
If you're
TV.
watching Coop TV, what's good?
Dude,
We're coming back, Coop TV.
We'll be
We're
back.
coming
Dude,
back.
Coop knows what's up. Whenever anybody from the Cash Money team's making the walk, he always makes sure to
Yes,
shout
yes,
you
I love
out.
it,
You're
I
like,
love it, yeah.
whoever it is,
Get
always
Coop
bring
on
the
the
energy.
commentary today.
He's-
My God.
it's gonna be
They
routed,
needed
they
him.
know.
Because Jesus Christ. We won't go into detail, but we need Coop on that commentary today.
They didn't give him his interview after that fight. It was
Yeah, I know.
too
We were
hectic.
talking about
They
it.
never give me my interview anymore.
Well,
Shit.
dude,
I'm gonna
we
get
got to tell
canceled.
everybody that story because not everybody knows it. From when that whole outside the cage, the whole brawl between you and the other team. Let's get into that because that's a funny story. Honestly, it's a crazy story.
You win some, you lose some, and it's got to be left in the cage. But others, when it's with me, sometimes they can't leave it in the cage. They got to bring
It's
it
gotta
out
be
there.
afterwards, absolutely.
But they can never catch the Cash Money Kid, so.
I just wanted to point out his mental game that day was great.
You're talking about
We were
Shane?
warming up, so we were warming up.
Today
on
it
the
might
turf.
have been a little off balance, but that day it was on point.
We were
so.
warming up on the turf. Was hitting pads with him and his brother. It was in his corner for this his last kickboxing fight, and he was very locked in. Obviously, his ex-opponent came over after a very big win against one of the kids that he's lost to, and being crazy and being in our faces and stuff like that. And he stayed locked
One
in
of
the
my
whole
few
time.
losses.
One of his
Gotta
few
judge me
losses,
by my
you know.
losses because
He's
I
on
have
Quaaludes. It doesn't
not
count.
many.
So, it's
Yes.
just gotta.
My opponent, I don't know. The crowd, there's like a banana peel, this fucking thrown in, and Mario Kart shit. I'm just fucking get up a little wobbly and shit. I'm still ready to go. They called that shit early, but I mean, shit, it is what it is.
But yeah,
we
I
ain't
mean,
tripping on it.
it was always like just a really, cool idea of just going in there and kind of being behind the scenes and behind the cage and watching it cage side was just really, really interesting, and kind of what unfolded afterwards was.
It was good experience. The promoter came in after and was loving it. Like,
yeah, you guys look like you're gonna rob a bank, man.
Yeah. It sells the fights.
Yeah,
like,
it was cool.
Me and
people
Rob,
can say all they want. They don't like
you
controversy.
gotta have fun while you're in there, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta enjoy the process. Because shit, it's a blessing to be in there.
And
I swear to God.
And before
really
you know
is.
it's gone, man.
It
Like,
is.
it's
It
just-
really is. It could go like this.
Well, I mean,
and then
even
you just tell
it's
real
stories
sad,
about it.
with all
Yeah.
the injuries lately. I
Yeah,
can only imagine how
exactly,
you
like-
feel about that. You know?
Right in the best shape of your life, mentally, physically, and just fucking one stupid little move and
Yeah.
could
I mean, on
ruin
the-
everything, yeah.
On the channel, like we were talking about, like the next documentary we try and do, we got to do it with Shane, and then Tiz tells me that you broke your arm. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
seriously.
That was upsetting.
But it is what it is.
right.
You'll come back. I mean, dude,
I mean,
it's already
you
looking
look
pretty
in
good.
there.
Honestly, you were
Yeah.
showing us during the fight companion.
It's got metal rods in there. It's gonna be very.
Titanium
Yeah.
elbows. You're gonna be
Hell
hitting
yeah.
people.
Terminator now.
me and
I like
Rob's
that.
first
Fucking
experience
Batman,
of
baby.
watching
Batman.
a fight live in person came from
That
you.
is true.
What
You know,
happened?
just being
Our first time watching a fight
yeah.
live was at the event where we covered you, so that was kind of cool.
It was a sad day, but
It was. But it was a good experience.
That- I mean, at the end of
slipped
the-
on a banana
for
peel,
me,
man.
you
Slipped
know,
on a banana peel.
everyone too. I tell all my fighters, you got to learn from that shit. Learn
Yeah.
from my mistakes.
Well,
I
and
tell
you
them all the
handled
time.
it well too,
Yeah.
because like there's a lot of people like who would have been like, fuck you, get me off the camera, but like you literally
Yeah.
came up to us afterwards. We were like, hey, like if you guys want to talk real quick, like
Yeah.
you can do
I
that.
think
Like,
it's still up there. I watched it the other day. It's a beautiful video. I love that shit.
it's fun. It's
I
something.
think
The
it's a
ending
good
is
for the
unfortunate,
yeah.
but,
It's a
you know,
good. No, I like it. It's a good story. You know.
the
We'll see
comeback's
what
gonna be
happens.
crazy.
We'll see what happens. That's all I have to say.
Seeing like
You
being
know?
through his losses and stuff like also upgraded everybody around him too, because he took it so well.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
see a lot of people go out there and take losses like that. So it's like you get right back in there, and I kind of carry a lot of that shit with me,
Yeah.
out of the fight game.
It was
So
real sad.
I mean, the look on all of our faces.
Yeah,
when
that's
that
what I
shit
was about
happened
to
was
say,
like,
you guys.
God.
absolutely, man. It was,
But
you know,
yeah, that
when your
was-
friend,
it's,
when your teammate and your friend, basically your brother goes in there and he loses, it's like you take that loss with you. So, you only grow from it, and that's what I've learned from everything that we've gone through and done. That we're always
Hell
learning
yeah.
from it for
The
sure.
distance is different now. Let's run it back.
Absolutely.
You guys have been through like a lot together too, obviously. I mean, me and you, when we were kind of going over the podcast like outline before all this, like we were talking about some of the crazy shit that you guys have been up to, and we were talking about
Absolutely.
that one coach who sent you quite a fucking
Yeah.
It wasn't to me. It was to one of the cash.
Oh, this is somebody else?
It was one of the cash money members.
Oh
you
my
know?
God.
So one of the teammates,
Yeah, let's hear
one of the
this.
Cash Money people, he's got crazy fans. They it wasn't our fault. They hit up the opposing side, and they're
Who exactly on the opposing side they hit up?
one of the coaches on the opposing side, and then he sent back something a little bit crazy. So
Little bit is an understatement.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say it if you want. You don't have to say
Let
the
him
guy's
know.
name.
Let
honestly.
him
What-
know.
What did he
He sent
send?
like
Let
a
him
picture
know.
of his. He was like,
he
he's
sent
like,
a
get off
picture
my
of his
dick.
pizza deal.
Yeah. And
piece of
it wasn't to me, but it was one of the Cash Money members.
It's
Can't
crazy.
handle the heat. Get out of the kitchen,
So-
my friend.
I remember like you guys were like sharing that on social media. I was like, Shane's
Yeah, it was
team
pretty-
is up to some
hell
crazy
yeah.
shit right now.
Well, that
But
kind of
next time I see him, I'm gonna kick him in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Cause I don't give a fuck anymore.
You fucking
I'm
heard it
fucked
here
up.
first.
Fuck
You heard
that
it here.
shit.
with the metal leg.
Well, yeah, honestly.
With
the metal leg,
the
metal
other
leg.
with
fuck
the,
it.
with the metal leg, the right leg.
He's gonna cry.
Well, I mean, dude, I just can't believe that. Like to send somebody like a picture of their shit
Yeah,
down there.
that's one of the
That's
To an
reasons
wild.
opposing
kinda-
opponent.
It definitely built up a lot of that tension.
Imagine that being a way to sell a UFC fight. Like,
Yeah,
imagine-
that's why going into the AJ fight where it was like, oh, okay, that's why when he stayed so locked in, that's what was really important. That's what really makes
Yeah.
the whole thing. So
Even
afterwards,
though I
was a
kind of
little
started
different.
it, some of it, but
Hey, man.
we went to
The
shake his
composure
To be
hand.
through
fair,
it.
it's quite a jump to
It's
go
a
from
fight-
like
it's the
talking
fight
shit to
business.
like a dick
There's
pic
a
in
lot,
the DMs.
there's a lot worse things than goddamn words in the fight business,
Yes,
Fucking
that is-
Pictures
that is
of
for
people's
sure.
cocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apparently so, with
Yeah, I
some
mean,
fucked up people from the
bit
back
crazy.
ass of nowhere in fucking hillbilly town,
Yeah,
where
it's
the fuck he comes from. Cause shit, I come from a town where we don't do that shit. We have normal brains.
Yeah, like I'm looking at like your Snapchat story, your Instagram story, and I see like you beefing with these people. Like, yo, these guys sent like this picture of my.
It was always something.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm
No,
coming
I
back
was
soon to talk my shit because I just don't give a fuck anymore. The business needs me.
The
They need
titanium,
someone
the
like me.
titanium rod's
They
healing
really
extremely
do.
fast.
They really do.
Faster than I've ever
'Cause
seen before.
I haven't heard much in the business other than culture reigns supreme, P4P reigns supreme, and the Cash Money team are the new kids on the fucking block.
Hell yeah, man.
Jesus
a couple,
Christ.
couple months and we're gonna be in the
That's
spotlight for
endorsement
sure.
right there, man. Shane's a man of I'd say many ventures. You know, there's a lot of things Shane could get into if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
Like marketing, for instance.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, promotion, all that.
Well, the way we marketed the last Cash Money promotion, that was great.
Yeah, it got shut down.
Until it got
The
shut down.
promotion was so big, it got shut
It
down.
got shut down. It got shut
Yo,
down.
we might have to clip that out, actually.
we might have to clip this out.
We're live.
We're live, man.
Screen record
It's
that
all
shit.
over.
I should let me give you some praise as a coach too, because I mean, just doing this with Rob and like it kind of after 2 years it got to a point where it was like, you know, we could talk about it every week, and why not actually get in the gym and train, you know?
Absolutely.
And then it was just perfect timing how you started up the team and all that.
Yeah, dude.
It got a little, you know,
It's
rocky here and there, but Riverdale took us in, and your coach. That can't be tough, especially for how young you are. You
They
know,
didn't like me either at Riverdale, actually. I had beef with them. They kicked me out of their gym before.
And now you're back, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck.
when there's a will, there's a way.
Hell yeah. But I went in there, I was like, yo, I'm sorry, you know, it was my fault. And just came in with some plans, and they liked the plans, and they let it go. And
I mean, I can
Here
only
we
imagine
are.
how many memberships you've brought, you know?
yeah, it's been
yeah.
good. It's been
Yeah,
good.
Definitely. I mean, the last thing I guess I want to ask you before we like swap out for your brother, like, I mean, obviously we just talked about it. Tiz has been training for a while. Like, what do we got? What do we got in Tiz? We got a prospect here?
Main card Tiz, we've always
we
had a
still have a
prospect.
whole year to go, and
Hell
I want
yeah.
something this. I want something this
Soon.
year.
I'm excited for Tiz.
That's another
His progress in the gym his work ethic is like, I'm impressed.
Thank
like,
you, man.
I'm-
I enjoy it. I
you've done
really
really
do.
good. Lucas too. We were talking
You've
about it the
banded
other
together
day.
like
yeah.
a very formidable team. It's just really
Thank you, bro.
good, passionate people.
Yep.
You know.
There's main part in the team. Hell yeah.
I
That's what it's.
that.
That's why it's always good to have like, you know, the team and just everyone like in the community that actually enjoys it. They can all train and not feel, you know, a certain way about training. Everyone can get together and become better. You
It
know.
was sick
Shane's
today.
got a very fundamental oriented way of coaching. He'll teach you one thing, and then instead of just putting in the pass, you just build on it throughout the whole entire
That's what you gotta
session,
do.
and
Can't be that
it
random
creates a
shit.
monster. Like the one we have over there, who's gonna
Yeah.
come on here a
The
little
Lobo
later.
King.
That is.
The
Travis.
Lobo Key.
That's a tease for later in the
Earn
show.
the
Yeah,
title.
yeah.
But main card Tiz, I mean, coming back 2025, maybe you heard it here first.
I want to see
Yeah.
it.
Be
an
We
early
have to
announcement.
see it.
Could be.
I
could
love
be.
it. Me too. I would love to meet having. Let's
But-
do it.
Honestly, Shane, thanks for coming on here
Thanks
for
for
a
having
little
me.
bit. You know, that was
Hell
fun.
yeah.
Always good to see you, brother.
Thank you,
Thank you,
coach.
guys.
Feel just like a superstar. Doing all these drugs, I don't think I'm gon' see tomorrow. Living fast, brand new dash up in a foreign car. It's the type of shit that you be doing when you going hard.